So we're getting some more photos of Donald Trump from the Epstein estate. This is one of them. That is clearly Trump. It says, "I'm huge." Okay. We also have this one. This is Trump with several people in it. You can see this. And the faces have been redacted. You can also see here, I guess there's thousands of these photos. I'll read it. Breaking: Oversight Dems receive 95,000 new photos from Jeffrey Epstein's estate. These disturbing images raise even more questions about Epstein and his relationship with some of the most powerful men in the world. Time to end this White House cover-up. Release the files. And when you see something like, this, what kind of dirt do people have on Trump? What kind of dirty things did Trump do? I don't even know. I mean, I have no way to predict these kind of things. That's Trump's name, of course. Trump Condom 450. It also says, finally. There's another word down there. I don't know what the other word it could, from the shape, it could be a B, it could be a P, it could be a D for Donald. I really don't know. But that's clearly Trump's name is Trump, and that's clearly Trump's picture there. You also notice when I was looking at this is there's like a receipt in the back. That's the old style receipts. So there's going to be paper trails on this stuff, right? There's also something that says here, I don't know, Fish's Eddie. I don't know. If anyone has any guess on that one, I'm just reading, showing you what it is. That's Trump though. And then you also have Trump, and this person's guessing that these are with underage. I don't know. I just be honest with you, I don't know. I just know that that's Trump. And Elon Musk is even calling for prison time, which is kind of crazy in itself. Right down here, it says, only a matter of time before Bannon goes back to prison. Okay, I'll read it. Newly released photos of Jeffrey Epstein show him meeting with Steve Bannon, okay, with what appears to be a trafficking victim's photo sitting on Epstein's desk. Jeffrey Epstein did take photographs of victims, and these were viewed by many as, quote, trophies or form of leverage. And you wonder, like, does someone have leverage on Trump on this stuff? It's not just Trump. There's a lot of people involved with this stuff. I just want to make that clear. There's a lot of people in these things. 95,000 photos could be of anything. Jasmine Crockett, she says, this is about truth and justice for victims and survivors. The subpoenaed photos from the Epstein estate are deeply disturbing and raising serious questions about who knew what and when, which is exactly why the files need to be released. The Epstein Files Act is law. Trump can release them today. Okay. Take a look at this. This is also another representative. The photos released are disturbing and demonstrate Epstein's ties to powerful men, including Trump. The legal deadline is looming, but Trump could release today. And then you also have another person was writing, this giving different points of view. What kind of names could be in these? So Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, Woody Allen, Larry Sumner's, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. Redactions have been made by the committee. So some of these redactions, chances are, could be a victim, any number of reasons. There's so many photos to go through. You always want to be careful what you want to say about this stuff because, a lot of people can speculate on things. So that's why I say I tell you what I see, I tell you what I know, what I don't know. You also have this. This was Representative Garcia talking about it. Have a listen.
Right now, our plan is to demand that the president release the files, and we'll see what he does on the 19th. But I think, again, these pictures, some of these photos are really disturbing. And I know we've put some out today. There are many others. And some of the other photos that we did not put out today are incredibly disturbing. Well, right now, our plan.
So the phrase then, some of the other photos that we did not put out today are incredibly disturbing. Right? So, because you got to think about how do we show the public what people did, because they could have all kinds of stuff, right? And some are just like completely inappropriate to show the public for, not that you don't want to show who's guilty, just, they could be doing any number of things. So we got to figure out, like, how can you, release this in a way that's sensitive to the victims. I'll put it in that way. I think that's a better way to put it. But there could also be other things going on to where, like, is Trump trying to slow walk this thing? In my opinion, it's not just Trump out for himself. It's probably connected to donors or, any associates that are just like, yo, I don't want that stuff getting out there. And who knows what it could be. Because I can't predict like these kind of stuff. Yeah, you're probably going to get more of this, but I can't predict like this or then the stuff that they can't even show us right away, which I understand that, but you could at least release it to Congress, and we'll see. You're going to have videos out there, various parties, this is Trump, and this is stuff we've seen before. There's probably just so much stuff. Then you have this, and I just want to put all together because you have to understand that this is a larger picture of the corruption that the Trump people are up to. So it says here, the National Trust for Historic Preservation filed a lawsuit Friday in the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia, representing the first major legal challenge to President Trump's planned 90,000 square foot ballroom addition. Because remember, Trump's basically, he's all about throwing parties. He's all about hanging out with the big money. And it relates to the Epstein thing, right? And these people do all sorts of crazy, whacked out things. Here's a quote here because he's tearing down the White House, right? No president is legally allowed to tear down portions of the White House without any review whatsoever. Not President Trump, not President Joe Biden, and not anyone else. That's coming from the National Trust for Historic Preservation. So maybe they'll block him from building his stupid ballroom thing. And I also wanted to play this. This is from Representative Summers. This is a Representative Summer Lee. And listen to what she says regarding the Epstein thing. It's interesting.
So let's talk about the main event, the Epstein files. What don't we know? Like, just tell us, give us.
I don't know, I don't know. I mean, where to start? Some of you all may not know that, I'm very proud that I was able to force a vote in my subcommittee to subpoena the files, right? So, first of all, the DOJ has actually been compelled to release them since August, right? But, I guess what else? Since we got that subpoena, we've actually got so many. So all those little drips, right? The death by 1,000 cuts that the Trump administration is choosing, I couldn't tell you why they're choosing that. But that's what they're doing. So we have, subpoenas for, the banks. We've talked to, these institutions. Man, this is deep. This is deep, man. We're talking like the most powerful people, institutions, like nations are involved in this. And it's so obvious. And that's why they do not want to do a big drop.
Okay.
So like a guy is not a prince.
They could have like a
because
Netflix release, but they're like, no, let's do like a weekly release, like an NBC.
Like dropping episodes, like
yeah,
old-fashioned.
just one episode at a time. Tune in next week. Rather, because Netflix.
And that's what they're talking about, right? So I just bring that up. I just want to give you a different point of view because she mentions, bank files and different institutions, countries. And then we're seeing here there's 95,000 of these photos, and Elon Musk is calling for, or only a matter of time before Bannon goes back to prison. Who knows what's going on? So I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this one. I don't talk about Epstein all day, every day, but when there is major news, I do bring it up. And for me, these things are basically, I'll just say this, I think Trump is involved. You can clearly see he is. To what extent? That's why you would release the files and let us, figure it out, see the evidence for ourselves. That's my thoughts on this. I want to hear yours, and I'll catch you on the next video.